What's going on, everybody? It's Cousins Fishing back at it again with another mediocre video, and today I'm going to start this new series I got. I think I'm going to call it Budget Bass Fishing Guide, but we're going to talk about not just like cheaper end of the stuff, but I'm going to break down why things cost, how much they cost, and what's like the best, I guess, deal for your money, if that makes sense. What you should be spending your money on opposed to what would be considered, in my opinion, like wasting your money. So as always, stick around. So today I'm going to be talking about rods. I've done a lot of research, and I feel like you have to really do a lot of research to understand what goes into making these rods, what parts make a rod more sensitive, or what kind of blanks and everything. So just to start off the series, I'm going to start off with rods, and I'm going to kind of break down, how sensitive each kind of rod is, and then what I think is the best for the money. Just examples of different kinds of rods. I own everything from cheap rods up to like more mid-range expensive kind of rods. So to start off, I'm going to be breaking it down by rod blank. If you guys don't know what a rod blank is, it's the part that you attach the eyes to. It's like the main part of the rod. This is all part of the handle, but as you can see down here, this is the blank too. So it's the whole one-piece rod. So the one I'm holding specifically is an IM6 rod blank. That is definitely one of the cheaper ones. I believe if you were to build your own rod, you could get an IM6 blank for like 40 bucks. So needless to say, this is not the most sensitive rod on the market. As you guys can see, I have it rigged up with a little slip float because there's really not a use in using this for bottom contact baits or baits where you need to feel the fish bite, because you pretty much won't unless it's like a really, really hard bite. But other than that, IM6 is one of the lower quality blanks. It then goes to IM7, which there's not a whole lot of those out there in the market, but you'll come across them every once in a while. And then it goes to IM8 blanks, which is like the loose carbon fire that I've had. Cousins Tackle used to make IM8 blank rods. I don't know how many are out there anymore, but I know IM8 is like the most popular when it comes to those kind of blanks. Anything IM6 through IM8 is not the most sensitive rod on the market. I would not use those for any kind of bottom contact bait. But it would make sense to go with the cheaper rod if you're using a moving bait, because you don't really need to feel the bite. You're going to know when you have a fish on it. So then the next one I want to talk about is a 24-ton carbon rod. So this is an IM 24-ton carbon rod. So generally what you're going to see with these is 24-ton carbon is a step up from the IM8 blank, but it goes 24-ton carbon, then there's 30-ton carbon, then it goes to like 36-ton carbon, then there's 40-ton carbon. These are the 24 is not the most sensitive rod on earth. Yes, it's a step up from IM8, but you really need a harder bite to feel any kind of fish on the 24-ton carbon. You can find 24-ton carbon rods from Abu Garcia. I found one for $20. I found one for $40, which was the Vengeance. So the Abu Garcia Vengeance rods are the same blank as the Favorite Defender rods, which I find kind of sketchy because, the Vengeance is a $40 or $50 rod. The Defender is a $100 rod. So where you're starting, like there's a $50 difference between the two, but where you're starting to see that money go is like the handle, little accessories that cost more. So instead of spending, $50 on an Abu Garcia Vengeance rod for the same sensitivity as this, you're spending $100 on this for like the cool handle and the cool knob, the better eyelets, stuff like that, even though they're basically the same in sensitivity. When you start to step up to 30-ton carbon, which is what the 1-3 Fishing Omen Black is, that's where you get to be more sensitive, and that's where it starts to be worth like right around $100. The problem that I had with Favorite, and one of the reasons why I left Favorite, was because they're selling a 24-ton carbon rod. The 6 stick is 24-ton carbon, and that's a $130 rod. So for the same blank that Abu Garcia is selling for $50, Favorite's selling it for $130, and that is where I feel like you're getting a rip-off. Favorite's not exactly being honest with you about, it's not the most sensitive rod on the market. It's the same sensitivity as the $50 Vengeance rod you'll find at Walmart, but they're charging you $130 for it just because it looks cool. So the next part of this video is something I want to talk about. It's companies that make their own blanks. So stuff like IM6, IM7, IM8, and then the 24-ton carbon is all outsourced from other companies that make the blanks. But stuff like Dobyns, Ducati, and St. Croix, you can't even see, it doesn't say St. Croix on it. Oh, St. Croix, they all roll or make their own blanks in some way. St. Croix is actually made here in the United States. St. Croix is one of the best budget rods you can buy. So for $100, you can have the St. Croix Bass X. They make a 7-1 medium heavy fast. That is a great bottom contact rod. That has that real sensitivity where you'll be able to feel, you know, smaller bites. I've had experience with that. Even though this is 7.2 medium heavy moderate, I've still used it for bottom baits every once in a while when I don't have my jig rod. And it really has worked wonders. You can definitely feel there's a lot more sensitivity between something like the St. Croix rod and the 24-ton carbon Favorite Defender. So then the next one I want to talk about is Ducati. I want to talk about Ducati because they pretty much have like a cult following. They do make their own blanks as far as I'm aware. I'm pretty sure they make their own blanks, and it is more sensitive than something like a IM6 or a 24-ton carbon, 30-ton carbon. But where you get the real value is with these companies that roll their own blanks. They're not having to buy it from another person, so it brings the price down. Whereas Favorite has to buy this blank from another brand, which is why the price is a little more expensive. So you got two $100 rods here. One is 24-ton carbon, which is not very sensitive at all, but the other one is like a hand rolled blank made by Ducati. So you're getting that $130 sensitivity, but because they made it themselves, they can price it at $100, if that makes sense. And then the last one I want to talk about is Dobyns. Not particularly this one, but the whole brand in general. This is the Cult series, and I really enjoy this rod. Now, I will be honest with you, it's an $80 rod. It's not the most sensitive rod on earth. That's why I put braid on here. I'll be able to feel a lot more with braid. I have experience with the 734, not Sierra, the 734 Fury. The Fury series with Dobyns, and I believe that is the best rod you can get for around $100. It's $130 retail, but if you were between the 6-stick, the Fury, or like, I don't know, some $130 Abu Garcia rod, the Dobyns Fury is a much better, more sensitive rod. Again, they can get that $160 sensitivity down to a $130 price point because they make their own blanks. They don't have to buy it from somebody else. That's all I wanted to do with you guys today. I'm going to start this series. The next one will probably be on reels. But just, I wanted to give this kind of budget side to bass fishing because I know it can get so expensive. You know, I constantly am researching this. Every day I'm on Tackle Warehouse just looking at something, trying to think of what I can buy next. I just got 2 of these Siticas in the mail today. But I'm always wheeling, dealing, flipping, doing all this stuff, and I've had so many different rods. I kind of have a feel for which one's the best in like the budget category. So thanks for watching, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.